in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is the Verizon Extra Innings Show. Verizon, the most reliable 5G in St. Louis.
That is one heck of a win for the Cardinals tonight. They beat the first-place Cubs, and they win by an 8-7 score. That game had a little bit of everything in it, including a bunch of memorable plays. The Extra Innings Show is being presented by Graybar. Graybar is your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. My name is Matt Pauley, continuing to come your way from Busch Stadium. Would love to talk to you tonight. Multiple ways to get connected with the show. You can call or text at 314-436-7900. That's 314-436-7900. Calling or texting. Tweet at me, at Matt Pauley on air, MattPauley on air. Or for those of you who are watching live on our video stream on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you can just leave a comment in the chat, and we will see those come into us as we go along through the program tonight, seeing those numbers start to go up. For those of you listening on the radio, we love our radio listeners, but if you ever do want to watch it, encourage you to follow along at KMOX Sports on YouTube. You can get notifications whenever we go live, so it's not just the Extra Innings Show, but when we go live with Redbird Rush Hour and Gas House Gang and Sports Open Line and Sports on a Sunday morning, it all comes right to you. We video stream all of our sports shows here at KMOX, so it's a good way to get connected with us for sure. Again, 314-436-7900. Call or text. Tweet at me, at Matt Pauley on air, or leave the comments on the video stream. I love this game tonight. I am very good at being a prisoner of the moment. It's if I could make a career out of being a prisoner of the moment, I would be a very rich man, because I can do that with the best of them. But I can't think of a game where I was as fired up as this one. The last time I probably felt this way was the game in Philadelphia, where they came back twice. Sonny Gray pitched, struggled that night, and they came back. Like, I was pretty fired up about that win. That's the one that kind of jumps off the top of my head, just thinking through it. I'm not always great at remembering everything that happens in a season. But, man, like, who cares? This game was awesome. This game was really good. I hope people out there kind of share their enthusiasm with me, because this game had everything. This game had everything you could ask for. Each team had the lead at some point. A bunch of home runs were hit, each team being represented on that. Memorable plays, really memorable plays. And the three of them that will stand out in this game is Mason Wynn scoring from second on an Alec Burleson sacrifice fly. And I said this when we were going through the highlights on the network postgame show. I'll say it again. There's multiple individuals who deserve credit for that, because that's a 1 in 1,000 play. That's a 1 in 10,000. Like, that doesn't happen. We're talking about Major League Baseball. We are talking about the best players in the world. And Pete Crow Armstrong is a really good baseball player. He, in that moment, didn't know how many outs there were. That may never happen to him again for the rest of his career. That is how rare that happening is. And for Wynn to be running hard the whole time is, especially, he's not 100% health from a health standpoint. So give him credit that it was kind of in the back of his mind that maybe something could happen there. And then he picked up Pop Warner. I promise you, in the duration of Pop Warner's career as a third base coach, he has taken a lot more grief than he has taken, good things being said about him. And we've been critical of him on this show on some, there's been a send here or there that you take issue with. I understand that's the job of the third base coach, to be watching those sort of things, but it'd be really easy. It'd be really easy for a third base coach to shift their attention to the runner coming in from second. Just, that's the moving thing in front of your eyes. So you're paying attention to that with no attention being made to a center fielder all the way at the wall. I don't know how many third base coaches would pick that up, but he did tonight, and he deserves credit. And in a one-run game, in a game that ends as a one-run game, that's the difference. That's the difference in this game. It took Pete Crow Armstrong doing something that he may never do again for the rest of his career. It took Mason Wynn running hard when he's probably being advised not to run so hard at times. And it took a third base coach being keenly aware of everything going on. So that was awesome. The play made by Alec Burleson, which, I mean, that ball hits the net there. It's out of play. And yeah, he's running into the net, so the net is kind of pushing back. That's part of that play as well. He may have actually moved the net a little bit to give that ball the centimeters that it needed to get into his glove before touching the net. And he went full speed in there. Full speed for that type of situation. Like he was moving, and he didn't really slow down to go up into the net. He was not overly worried about his body in that moment, and just his facial reaction as he's falling into the net and making the play. And it's such a big play. And if he doesn't make that play, you don't know if the Cardinals win. You don't know if the Cardinals win if Mason Wynn doesn't score from second. You don't know if the Cardinals win if Alec Burleson doesn't go falling into the net and making this crazy play. And then Nolan Arenado, final play of the game. Ball hit down the third base line. He's got a runner right on top of him. And somehow he picks that slow roller up. He avoids the runner, and he gets the runner over the hitter, the batter, the runner going down the first baseline, and gets him right there. I mean, wow. What a game. What moments that we saw in this one. I hope I'm not alone in my enthusiasm for this game tonight, because I'm fired up after that kind of performance. That's one of those games. I'm not trying to be overly dramatic here. I realize it's June 24th. But for people like me that just love the game of baseball, this is why. This is one of those games for me that just shows why we love this game so much. You don't know what you're going to see on any given night. If this game ends and only the Mason Wynn play happens, man, we're talking about that. Only the Alec Burleson play happens, man, we're talking about that. Only the Nolan Arenado play happens, we're talking about that. But we get three of them. We get three of them tonight. And that was awesome. That was great. I'm happy about this one tonight. If you want to join and bask in the happiness with me, feel free to do so. You can call or text 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. You can tweet at me at Matt Pauley on air, MattPauley on air, or you can just go ahead and leave a message in the video chat if you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. All of those are those available for you, and we will take your messages as we go along through the program tonight. Let's go through some of the text messages that have started to come in. From the 573 says a really nice win. It's always fun beating the Cubs. Let's keep it rolling tomorrow. Text message from 618 says yes, Arenado baby. Then leaves a woohoo. Text message from this is from Teresa, says the pitchers, the offense, the defense, they were outstanding tonight. Absolutely loved this game. Yeah, everybody. You know what's amazing about this game? Another thing that's just notable, and this is not me taking a shot at Michael McGreevy whatsoever. I think you know that I'm excited to see Michael McGreevy pitch, and I'm excited to see what his major league career is going to look like moving forward. Going into the game, the narrative about this game was, hey, it's Michael McGreevy, right? Like if there was one individual that we were really focused on going into this game, it was Michael McGreevy. And he's very much kind of a side player in the big narratives of this game. And again, that's not me putting him down, but he went 4 2/3 innings, 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 1 inning. Got him. He gave up 5 runs in the 3rd inning. He was fine in the other innings. It was hot and everything. It sounds like I'm being dismissive towards Michael McGreevy. That's not what I'm doing. All I'm saying is, at the beginning of this game, he was the centerpiece storyline, and at the end of the game, so many other storylines have eclipsed Michael McGreevy because of the way this game ended up playing out tonight. Our daily text message from Ball Game gives his tip of the cap and raise of the glass. He said, for Mason Wynn with the 2-run home run, 2 RBI double, hustle score from second base. He says, I can hear Mike Shannon saying deuces are wild. Text message from 314, what a game. I was so into it. I told my son if they lost this game, I might be inconsolable, but they pulled it out. Go Cardinals. Yeah, good stuff. Mary Lynn texting in says the Arenado play was stellar. They all played fantastic. Message from the 314 says, love seeing Burley thrive. Alec Burleson is such an easy guy to root for. Such an easy guy to root for. And I'll be honest with you, the beginning of the season, he had a slow start to the year, and he had a slow finish to the season last year as well. And I was really curious on, and as they went into like the runway transition year and everything, and they were going to try to be focusing on getting the players in there that give you, who have the highest ceilings, I guess would be the way we would say. I wasn't totally sure where Burleson was going to fit in and all of that. I was excited to see what was going to happen with Jordan Walker and what was going to happen with Nolan Gorman and things like that. But we gotta stop and just give Alec Burleson all the credit in the world for what he has been able to do. His approach at the plate has changed, where he's being so much more selective in his swings. That has changed everything for him. And you can't keep him out of the lineup right now. When Ivan Herrera is healthy again, and if guys, there's an ebb and flow to the season, so we'll see what it looks like at that point. But right now, you have to have Nolan Gorman and Alec Burleson in the lineup more often than not. And that's it's been really fun watching him. And he's as they're all good guys in there. And I don't just say that because because of what I do. I'm in the clubhouse every single day talking to these guys, and I can tell you there's not a bad guy in there. But Burleson is as good as they come in terms of just being a guy that you can go talk to and always has a good answer and is always amenable to giving up his time and everything. And it's just fun. He's a fun guy. So he's super easy to root for. So that just adds to that play as well. All right, let's grab our first phone call of the show as we will talk with Holly, who was at the game. Holly, you're on the Extra Innings Show.
Well, good evening. What a fun evening this was. Oh, my gosh. It's my first game of the season, and I went with my son and grandson. And the only complaint I have is that the game was so good we couldn't tear ourselves away to go get concessions.
That's okay. That's okay.
It saved money.
Yes.
No, it was a fabulous game. Oh, my goodness. I loved it so much.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Team is so much fun to watch.
They are. They really are. Holly, appreciate the phone call. That's what I've been saying since the beginning, that this team is they are fun to watch. When you come out here and watch them play, you are going to get your money's worth more often than not. Message comes in from Henry on the video chat. He says, what an electric game. Let me tip my cap to the crowd tonight. First class, another reason why we're the best team in baseball. This game proves why the Cardinals are first class. Text or video chat coming in from Matt, good first name. Cardinals are now 8-3 against the 3 NL teams who've been in first place. Yeah, Cardinals have been good. Look, Cardinals have been good against almost. They've just been good. They have a good record. They haven't had a lot of opportunities to play teams that are in. They've had a couple series against the Brewers. They've seen the Pirates. This is obviously their first series against the Cubs. But I think sometimes we try to break down the record and where the wins are coming from and all that sort of stuff. And it's pretty even right now. They're 12-9 against the NL Central. They're 27-19 against the National League. 16-17 against Interleague. They've got series wins against the Phillies, against the Dodgers. They've played good baseball this year, and they go into periods where they're not playing good baseball. But to their credit, I think they're able to limit those, and this feels pretty good right now where the Cardinals are at. We got a bunch more messages to get to. Again, if you want to get in here, you can do so. You can call, text, tweet, or leave a video message. If you call or text, it's 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. Tweet at me, at Matt Pauley on air. Leave a message on the video stream chat. We'll continue to talk to you after the Cardinals get a really good win tonight over the Chicago Cubs, 8-7. We're back with more in just a moment. It's the Extra Innings Show on KMOX.
There's a big red barn where you save green. Norm's Bargain Barn. On discount windows, doors, and things. Norm's Bargain Barn.
Hi, I'm Norm Wilkie. Come see my new selection of Amish cabinetry made by my good Amish friends at Countrywood Products. We now stock 5 styles of cabinetry for you to choose from.
When you need to save on discount windows, doors, and cabinetry, come to Norm's Bargain Barn. With locations in Shiloh and Fenton at the bottom of Gravois Bluffs. Visit normsbargainbarn.com.
That's normsbargainbarn.com.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we are more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. From startups to established businesses to estate plans, we are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. With offices in Missouri and Illinois, you can conveniently visit us today at sandbergphoenix.com. That's sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
Hey, facility managers. At Graybar, we're not just one of the largest distributors of electrical and datacom parts in North America. We're your connection to help make your buildings smarter. We work with best-in-class manufacturers to supply products for wireless, security, renewable energy, lighting, and critical power solutions. And we have a network of integrators nationwide that can help make it work all together. So, the next time you're thinking about making your building smarter, think Graybar, and we'll help you get connected. Visit graybar.com/connected buildings to learn more.
You might know Graybar for cable and connectivity, but there's one more thing you should know us for that can help optimize your project's total value, like our comprehensive electronic solutions for security, AV, wireless, and networking, or our specialized job site services, like material staging and kitting, or maybe our logistics specialists, who can help you identify efficiencies and ensure just-in-time delivery. So, consider what one more thing you may need to optimize your bottom line and get to know us for that. Yep, Graybar does that.
Now, back to the Verizon Extra Innings Show.
Back at it after a really good Cardinals win tonight. They beat the Cubs by an 8-7 score. My name is Matt Pauley, continuing to come your way from Busch Stadium. If you do want to join the program, there's multiple ways to get connected with us. You can call or text 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. Tweet at me, at Matt Pauley on air. Or if you're watching on our video stream, feel free to leave a comment. Doesn't matter what platform you're watching on, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. If you leave a comment on the chat, it will come to us and we will see it, and we can certainly address that. A lot about Mason Wynn coming in. Let's start with this message from Mass Monster 525. Says Mason Wynn won this ball game. Goes on to say, I get nervous when Ryan Helsley gets in there to close because the 5 saves this season, but Helsley got it done. I think Helsley has looked a little bit better here recently, and we should not forget the fact that those final 3 outs are different than every other out in the game. And I'm not sitting here telling you that Helsley has been, fantastic this season. He hasn't. His fastball has been very hittable. It continues to be hittable. We saw that tonight as Helsley goes out there and gives up 2 hits. His whip this year is about 1.5, and that means that you are playing with fire on just about an every night basis. It's been a little bit better over his last 3 outings, which is good. He had 2 hitless innings and 2 hitless outings in his last 2 before tonight. Gives up the 2 hits in this game today. You'd like the strikeout numbers to be maybe a little bit higher. If you're going to give up 2 hits, a couple strikeouts wouldn't be bad. And he did. He had to get bailed out a bit by Nolan Arenado making an amazing defensive play. But I do think it's a little bit better for Helsley over the last week or so. I think there's still room for improvement. I'm still concerned about that four-seam fastball and the fact that it continues to be something that I don't know if hitters are sitting on it. I don't know what's going on. I mean, a slider is as unhittable as it has ever been, but that fastball continues to be something that guys are having success against, and he's going to continue to throw it. So that would be the one thing that I say on him. Let's go to John, who has given us a call. Hey, John, you are on the Extra Innings Show.
Yes, Matt. I went to the ball game tonight, and I noticed when Victor Scott came to bat, he had something shiny in his back pocket, and it appeared to be a light. Do you know what that could be?
I think it was I'd have to look again. At one point, John, appreciate the call. I did see something. I think it's just the mitt that they wear on the bases to protect their hands. A lot of guys wear those. I did what you mentioned at one point in time. That I did see something shiny there, and I kind of took note of it. I'm trying to remember what I was thinking in that moment. I'll keep an eye out tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be the same thing. But I believe a lot of guys wear those mitts when they're on the bases. That way, if they're stealing a base, when they get their fingers in there, there's less of a chance of them injuring their fingers. So a lot of guys wear that. I think that's what you were talking about. I noticed it too. So I hope that gives you the answer. And yeah, I'll keep an eye on it coming up tomorrow. 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. Text message from the 616 says, I heard that Ozzie Smith was in attendance at tonight's game. Deja vu, 1982 World Series, Ozzie scoring from second on the sacrifice fly. Yeah, Claves mentioned that in the post-game interview, in the start of the game interview that he did with Mason Wynn, which was fantastic. Ozzie's at a lot of games. We see Ozzie here all the time, and it's fun. A lot of people are here tonight. Tony La Russa was here. He's going to be in here for a few days. He's got a big event that's going to be coming up. You've probably already heard him on KMOX. We're trying to get him for Thursday night Sports Open Line. I think we'll have Tony for Thursday night. Should be able to record that during the day on Thursday with Tony. But yeah, a lot of folks are here. When the team's playing good baseball, all of a sudden there's more people here. Yeah, that's how it goes. Like that couple years in 2022, the final Pujols Molina year. Every game, there were famous people, celebrities, former players, everybody was here. And there's always alumni here, but it just seems like we're kind of getting back to that right now, where it's that way. It's fun because I get to meet a lot of these folks, and sometimes we record interviews. This week's Sports Open Line is going to be absolutely stacked on Thursday night. I've already talked to figure skating legend Brian Boitano, NASCAR driver Kyle Larson, former Blue Barrett Jackman. Have conversations with all those folks that you'll hear on Thursday night. Like I said, we're going to get Tony La Russa. We got some other folks that are going to be in. So it's fun when Busch Stadium feels like the place to be, and that's what it feels like right now for sure. Text message from the 309 says, this team's resilience and grit has been there all season, and I'm for it. I'm here for it. Fantastic game tonight. They don't give up. That's one of my favorite things about this team. Even games that are losing, they're still they're going to give hard at bats. We talk about Ryan Helsley and sometimes the ninth inning being tough. How often have the Cardinals been down in the ninth inning and not got in a base runner? It never. I know it's not never. I know it's happened, but they always have a base runner in the ninth inning. They, as John and Ricky like to say, give them a finish. They always give them a finish. So that's what happens with the Cardinals in the ninth inning, even if they finish it off or not. So think about it from the other side. Those final three outs, they're just different. Message comes in from Peyton McClure, says, Wynn scoring from second in game 2. 2-1 win over the Dodgers, scoring from second tonight in a sac fly, another 1-run win. Wow, so cool that he's made 2 huge plays on the bases. Goes on to say, so cool to see Wynn score from second in exciting fashion this year. How about that? So yeah, good stuff right there. That was it was just fun. It's fun to see these exciting plays being made, and it's good. It's really good that the team is finding ways to win. All right, so with two lefties against the Cardinals next, what lineup changes do the Cardinals make? So they're going to face off coming up tomorrow against Matthew Boyd, and he is a lefty. I would think that maybe they get Thomas Saggese in there. That would be what I would think. And same thing with Shoto Imanaga, who is going to pitch coming up on Thursday. I don't know what it looks like. Here's the thing. I mean, Alec Burleson, he's doing it from a handedness standpoint. It's looked good from both sides, or against both sides, I should say. Even Nolan Gorman, his career numbers, the handedness thing isn't really an issue for him. So maybe Gorman sits. I don't know. Gorman sits and Saggese gets in there. Maybe Pozo probably gets one of those games behind the plate. Do you put Newt in center, take Scott out, send Donovan to the outfield, and then you have second base available, and that'd be another way to get Saggese in. I don't know. I mean, it's not going to, it's going to be one of those things. And I understand like the idea of they're playing such good baseball right now. Do you change up the line? I think you do. I think you got to find a way to get Thomas Saggese in there. He's not here just to sit. He's a good hitter. He's shown that he can hit at the major league level. So there's multiple options, but I think getting Saggese in there is one thing. And I would assume that Joel Pozo is going to start one of these next two games as well. The Extra Innings Show is being presented by Gray Bar. Gray Bar is your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. What's on Deck is presented by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign, you have the very best. We just went over it. Cardinals tomorrow, they are going to be sending Eric Fetty to the mound. Fetty will come into the game with a 3-6 record and a 3.54 ERA. And like mentioned, Matthew Boyd, he's having a really good season for Chicago. Really good season for Chicago. Boyd is going to start for the Cubs. He's 6-3 with a 2.84 ERA. You don't know what you're going to get with Imanaga coming off the injured list in the final game of the series. So to me, tomorrow's pitching matchup is probably the toughest one in the series. So if you can find a way to win tomorrow, that sets you up pretty well going into the final game of the series. Tomorrow's going to be a tough one for sure, and we'll see what they are able to do. But if they can find a way to win that one tomorrow, that would go a long way towards them maybe doing something really, really special in this 4-game series. Thank you so much for being tuned in. We are going to talk to you again coming up tomorrow. Cardinals get the win tonight. Talk to you tomorrow here on KMOX.
Chris Ranji for Siteman Cancer Center and